Welcome to Chefs in the City. I'm your host, Dan Fisher, along with my co-hosts, Rich Terapak and Steve Stover. Both Rich and Steve are not only trained chefs in their own rights, they have taught cooking classes for more than 40 years, and much of their inspiration has come from their shared love of travel. They and their wives have traveled the world together, and separately, as you can imagine, the cuisine plays a central role in those travels. I hope I haven't taken too much liberty there, but so welcome to the show, guys.
Well, thanks, Ann.
Because they're on the hot seat today.
When I retired, we made a vow that we were going to go abroad, start going abroad more than once a year. So we've made 35 trips abroad in the last 25 years. That was our goal.
And not just to Western Europe either,
No.
right? Yeah, all over the world.
We've been together. We went to New Zealand and Australia. We've been to Southeast Asia with these guys. We've been a lot of European stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you've been around the block a few times.
Been around the block a few times, and it shows.
And I wanted to talk to you about that. I've wanted to talk to you about it for a long time. I just think it's this is kind of travel season for a lot of people, particularly overseas. And I'm just wondered all that time. So you've been like doing these big trips that you do with lots of people that you organize for, but you also do several others a year too. I'm finding.
We're going actually
leaving
tomorrow
for Japan.
Morning, with two other
Japan
with one other couple,
and we just got back from Japan.
And we've got you two are going to be going to us. I think
yes.
We got 62 people going with us
over the course of 3 weeks.
Tuscans.
4 weeks.
4 weeks now. You added a week.
Yeah, you had to.
That's probably how we got in, folks. Don't get excited. So how do you rank the importance of cuisine when it comes to travel planning? Like, how much are you thinking about that?
Well, we choose the destination first.
Okay.
But after that, at least for me, the food is very important. We have a good friend who shall remain nameless, who I said, well, where did you go to eat? And he said, well, we walked around the town and looked into the stores, and I chose this one, and it wasn't very good. His wife is about to kill him.
Yeah.
As we're saying this, but that's one of the first things we do is we sort of look at the hotel and the restaurants together and then decide if we're going to a strange place.
Yeah. And it's very important for us as well. But Steve and Mary do a heck of a job in researching it, a lot more than we do. I find and it's less the case now than it was when you only looked at printed books for restaurant guides, because those can go out of very quickly by the time they get to our wholesale bookstore. And so we started off, and we still do this to a great extent. We do find the hotel first, and then from there, I usually rely on the concierge or just even the desk staff for something that's within a reasonable walking distance.
Because you can tell them, we don't want to go where all the we want to go for the authentic, for the real deal.
Yes,
and they
absolutely.
get that and can tell you.
Yeah, one of our experiences has been probably 5 years ago. We were in Rome. We were staying in an Airbnb that was built into the Vatican City wall.
Oh, my God.
It looked great online.
There's a great pizza place near there.
Did you go too?
Well, I remember when we went to the Vatican, there was a pizza place that we found, and it was in a Michelin Green Book. And after we went there,
But the pizza place. Yeah. Well, it's that same kind of thing. Roberta didn't like the fact that there was 30 steps to get to the Airbnb. But and we found this terrific small restaurant in the neighborhood, very elegant, and the food was just unbelievable. And so, and that's happened often. And they'll tell you as well to stay away from places. Oh, and that's a big hint too.
Yes, the ones with lots of pictures of all the food that have Americanized part of their menu, that have people out there kind of hawking their.
Well, interestingly, there was an article in the Washington Post this week. It was entitled "How to Avoid a Terrible Restaurant in Paris," which is sort of a negative way to get at it. But on the flip side of that is, well, how do you find a good restaurant in Paris? This is their take on it, and I have my own. But a big crowd doesn't always signal good food. Be discerning with internet lists. AI can point you in the right direction. They did a survey of 2 places in Pepper, and the AI found some really good restaurants, but the person found some that were closer to his interest, but it sent him in the right direction. Translated menus and chalkboards aren't always a red flag.
Okay.
They can be good. Needing a reservation is a green flag. And when in doubt, have a picnic.
Yes.
Go to the market.
Just go to the market, and they serve lots of.
You don't want to forget the cities, but it's one of the first things we do is go to a market.
Yeah.
We were in Nice, and that was the first place we went was to a market. Even though we had an apartment, and
you can get a pretty good deal on some wine. It's not bad.
And forage.
Heck yeah.
And forage.
Don't even get me started on that. I don't even know how people contain themselves. Needing a reservation is a green flag, meaning, if you have to get a reservation to get a seat, then that means it's in demand, and it's probably by locals and why not?
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be expensive either.
Right.
Because of
And that's one of my favorite things is that I do look at very carefully Michelin guides, Michelin Guide website, and Via Michelin.
Okay.
Those 2, and they're not all Michelin-starred expensive restaurants. They have They have a Bib Gourmand, which is a 3-course meal for $30 or $40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is
I was interested in, there was an announcement out of Michelin last week that they're coming to the Midwest, but they're not coming to us.
Yeah, I know.
We got to put a little bit. To Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
I think they're expanding awful fast.
Yeah, and because I think at least in the popular press and certainly the food press, we're getting great reviews these days as a real food city.
Yeah. Nationally.
Yeah.
And there are other places though. You don't just go to one place. That's the other thing. Travel magazines like Travel and Leisure and Condé Nast Travel have here are the best restaurants and so. Eater is a website. Again, I wouldn't rely on it solely.
But it gives you ideas and something to check out. And is there any, so if you know where you're going to stay, this is all about me, of course, right now.
Sure.
No, you know where you're going to stay, then can you kind of Google some things like restaurants near?
I just put restaurant guide or Michelin, and they'll tell you where it is. And in fact, I think there's even a mapping.
Yeah, that's what for walking, because we obviously you want to be, particularly in Rome, in a city like that. You just want to walk. You don't want to have to.
Well, and AI is pretty good at that. It's remarkable, and I for some of these trips that we're all going to be on, I go to my person. I got to give them a name. They're great. Give me the top 5 restaurants within a half a mile of where we'll be staying, and they give us reviews right there, and it comes up in 30 seconds.
One of the things we're going to do when we're over there is take that tour of Siena, and then there's a luncheon afterwards. How does that work? Does that something someone else puts together for us, or do you manage that, or what?
Yeah, we managed it.
Okay.
The tour guide is I think it's about a 2.5-hour tour. I think. And then there was one restaurant that one of the folks who's coming on another week wanted to go to, but they weren't open on Sunday. And I know this couple has really good taste, so I said to the travel agent that we're using in Tuscany, find me a place like that.
Okay.
And she came up with something right away, and I ran the menu past Mark, and he approved. So.
Good. And
go ahead.
I want to double back because I do think hotel concierges.
Yeah.
And we had some very good. We were just in Tokyo, and I asked the hotel for and they lined right up with what I was looking at.
Great.
And that's in the log, so I can get it.
Yep.
Well, by the way, Steve keeps meticulous notes of everything. And, which is great for the rest of us.
Yeah. Particularly as we age. Now, what was the name of that place? All you have to do is look up Steve's log.
Well, the two of us found a Michelin-starred restaurant that does vegetables, What's it called now?
A vegan
No,
restaurant?
no, the way of cooking them in a batter.
Oh, tempeh?
Yes.
Tempura.
Tempura.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be the best tempura restaurant in Tokyo, and it had 14 seats.
Oh my gosh.
And for whatever reason, we got seated right by the chefs. They're all at a counter. There are these wonderful experiences that you have when you travel.
Yeah.
It made me think of burnt ends
Yep.
in Singapore.
Okay.
Another experience that we had, that it was a counter with 19 people, and they would smoke everything and grill everything
A
and
couple of
roast
guys
everything.
from Australia who were essentially into barbecue.
Yeah.
And they got burnt ends was
In Singapore?
Yeah.
In Singapore.
Okay.
and it was very trendy. It still is that you got to eat the burnt ends from barbecue
Yeah.
because they're the ones with the
And
Mr. Boudreaux.
it was one of the top 20 restaurants in the world to boot, not just.
Yeah.
Another one was Tim Ho Wan in Hong Kong, the least expensive Michelin-starred restaurant in the world. We went there when we were in Hong Kong.
I thought it was a requirement that it was incomprehensibly expensive to be a
No.
Michelin.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to
dispel.
dispel.
Yeah.
Because, again, we have the Bib Gourmand for $30.
Let's talk a little bit about etiquette. So you are in a foreign country, you're in a city, and for one thing, Italian food is very regional, and you can't just go in and you're not going to get the spaghetti and meatballs.
No.
So everywhere, it depends, and what you can expect, and if you're going to make food a priority, you should be looking and focusing
need
on
to know
what
the
are the specialties where you're at,
Right. But one of the towns we'll be visiting is Pienza, and they are apparently the capital for pecorino cheese.
Yep.
So you have to.
I've been there,
and they got some festival about it. So that would be something that would be really anything you can. I love it, but you can find anything that's instead of Parmesan, you got a little pecorino on top of it.
I've been reading a lot about how it's super bad taste to have cheese with seafood, like in a pasta dish or something like that, and to put cheese on it, which I completely get taste-wise. Why would you ever do that?
Particularly the French.
Yeah,
Okay, they're like offended if you ask for cheese.
That you don't use cheese, and not just with seafood. There's a certain.
They give you what you need to eat,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
right? They'll tell you if you're.
Yeah, it was very Americana.
But
a guy with a little shovel of Parmesan come around.
I do think that the food gives you a window into the soul of a city or a town or a place, and obviously in Tuscany, where we're all going to be together, the food is the thing.
Can't wait. And another great thing I've been reading and confirm or deny or confirm is that it's great to order the house wine, that's going to be just fine if you want. It's going to be good.
And
it's
it
Tuscany. It's Rome,
And it may come in a liter bottle. It may not have a label on it, but it's darn good.
It's not going to probably have a straw cover on the outside.
Yeah, right.
Like the old
Chianti?
Yeah.
Well, it's in Provence, Saint-Remy.
Yep.
They've got across from the Hotel de Ville in the little square. There's a wine salesperson, and you go in and you get the local wine, and it comes out of something that looks like a hot water tank. And people bring plastic jugs in to get it, and it's just fine.
It's just fine, everybody. Because you always want to ask what the house wine is around here, because you never know.
Right.
What's going on.
Probably out of a box.
Here, I would not recommend necessarily the house wine.
Exactly.
Because that's usually the cheapest wine.
Right.
And so I think that's, but there and in Italy and other places,
It's a pride.
Yeah.
it's something
something they're proud of. It's
Yes.
not something that they're trying to pawn off on you.
Yeah, and at Tuscany where we're going, they got some great wines. Brunello,
We will check them out.
Sangiovese options, and
a tour
Barolo.
of Antinori, one of the great wineries in the world.
Yeah.
When you first started travel. You've been traveling your whole lives, though, haven't you? Really? I mean,
Well, yes, our whole lives, but more since we've
since
been
you were
married.
married, and then more since you retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such as whatever you call
We doubled up,
retirement. What do you think are some typical American foibles when it comes to eating? You know, what you've seen other people do now. You've seen them.
Well,
Not to be negative, but just
no,
maybe.
but just the ones we mentioned earlier was just wandering around looking aimlessly without doing any research at all.
okay.
It's just, this place looks good and go in. Well, that's not. And in Japan, for example, you don't tip, and you really should try to eat everything because
Okay.
So
It's offensive if you don't.
my daughter bought us a book called I should have loaned it to you, but How to Eat in Japan, about Japanese food and culture.
Yeah.
And, you don't get out of a taxi. The driver will open the door
Okay.
and little things like that.
Yeah.
There's a
It's unfortunate. You remember, not so much anymore, but probably 25 years ago, the ugly American
yeah.
Yeah.
stories. And oftentimes it's just people who were so frustrated because they couldn't communicate that they'd lose their temper or speak too loudly. And, it's.
And I don't speak Italian, so
But now
I
we
was
have
wondering
Google.
about
But you
that.
have Google.
Yes, Google Translate. Yeah.
Yeah, we gave our grandsons some toys,
Yeah.
bad Japanese toys, and I'm blanking at the hottest thing. But there was a catalog, and they were sitting there looking at the catalog with Google Translate because they would tell them
okay.
what these things were. And we even bought some earbuds that will translate at the same time. And so when
I wonder if I
we
get
didn't
that
use
through
them
my
enough,
hearing aids.
yeah,
You probably can.
yeah, you just put them in, and you can
Yeah.
listen to the person talk, and then
Oh, that would be really nice.
they're $40 on sale at Best Buy.
Oh, I'm going to have a spousal unit listen to this one.
Well, check with Mary.
Yeah.
My spousal. She's our techno person. So.
See, I know that wherever I go, I'm going to just call you up and say, where should I go? And you recommended a fabulous restaurant in Seattle when I was there a few years ago. And weren't going to make it back in time. So I canceled the reservation. And then we did make it back in time and it was gone. I just wanted to be kind to them and respectful.
And I do have lists for Paris and Barcelona and a couple other places that because there's so much demand, people want to know. So I've got a Paris restaurant list, for example. I don't have Rome, but you just have to think outside the box. When we were in Spain, we went to Bilbao, and just outside of Bilbao, out in the country,
Balboa or Bilbao?
Bilbao, where
okay.
the
Frank
Gehry
Gehry's museum
Art
is.
Museum.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And this was
aluminum foil.
Yes.
It was about an hour out into the country. It was this place called Azador Extaberry that Boudreaux's found. And it was just a little tiny, unassuming restaurant. And the guy makes his own charcoal and cooks everything over charcoal.
Oh, my God.
And we had charcoal eel and even a little bit of smoke in the cream for the dessert. Well, Azador Extaberry is now the number 2 restaurant in the world.
Wow.
Not a fancy place. And it's not expensive.
It's great. Yeah.
So don't be
Those
fooled by the price.
this is why we travel.
Yeah.
For those kinds of moments.
Do you, since I'll never travel as much as you guys have, but is there an underrated country or city for its cuisine? Underrated, like you wish people knew more about the food, or is it everything pretty well covered nowadays?
Everything's pretty well covered. I think German food gets a bad rap.
English food used to get a bad rap, but I heard they're kind of developing.
It's the most improved cuisine in the world.
Yeah.
English
England.
and Scottish and yeah.
And they, we were there last year and had a Polish trained chef that put together some of the best French meals we've had
In Scotland.
This is when you had the castle in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Peru,
I agree.
which has 2 of the top 10 restaurants in the world. Lima, Peru, has 2 of the top 10 restaurants. And I thought that Portugal.
Yeah, Portugal is definitely, Yeah, it can get a little basic, but you get a lot of dried cod kind of things. But it has some very nice restaurants. Again, in Portugal,
The Avelan's restaurants. He has two side by side. One's a 3-star, and one's a 1-star, just real close to the market area. And we went to both.
yeah.
And do you agree with the adage that you should never go to a restaurant that's near a big sightseeing touristy section? Go down the side street, that kind of a
I'd agree
thing.
with
If you
that.
are just sort of wandering,
Yeah.
don't go to the ones that have the big crowds necessarily with the.
Well, I
But
just
Steve
I'd
found
look
that
'em up.
pizza right outside the Vatican.
Yeah.
And it was in Michelin of all places. This little pizza joint.
Really?
Michelin Green. That's the travel book.
Okay.
Michelin Red is the restaurants.
Okay, Michelin Green is a travel book. Okay. And I was thinking about street food too, things you can just buy on the street. It's always alluring to see that, but I think when you're not from there, it's a little nerve-wracking too.
Yeah, a lot of the guidebooks promote those things and will tell you how safe it is to have them. And there are some interesting things in France that I probably don't like to try that much, the awful stuff.
No. Hearts. Where did we have
The awful. You mean OFFAL?
Recently, recently. Somebody grilled heart. But one good place to start is the markets, the town market.
Yeah,
I bet at least
good idea.
10 times there's been a restaurant in or beside the market, might even use the name of the market. That is a great experience.
It's kind of like here in Columbus. You experienced that when you went to what was that? I just lost it. The dumplings, little dumplings, and
The place with Saraga's? That was at
Yeah, it was in
Saraga's, but
Saraga's,
then they
yeah.
went to.
Yes.
I don't know. Are they still open?
Not in Saraga.
We haven't mentioned who we're talking about because none of us can remember, obviously.
It's the Tibetan
Momogar was the name.
Momogar,
and it's
yeah.
still in the North Market.
Okay.
Her other efforts have not. Remember, we had her on
Yeah. And boy, we went there when they were.
Punsa was her name. But
Wow. Okay.
in Nice, there was a restaurant in the market, and I'm thinking about 3 or 4 or 5 places. There's one where they take the stuff from the market. There's one in Barcelona.
We've
And,
seen a number of them in these huge markets in Mexico, and they're really good. You're right. You've got the butchering right down
there.
right down the road, and you go back to you can find a nice steak sandwich or something.
Well, the meal is the greatest social convention, and they're having an opportunity to experience a culture and a place with their food, I think is a pretty good way to travel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Except that, although I was worried, we've been abroad many times, and I've never gained weight. I was really close this time.
Well, you walk a lot, don't you?
Well, it's something about your
averaged
metabolism
8,000,
too.
Yeah, there is that old metabolism issue that I just can't even, there must be a cure for that, but I don't know what it is. We talked briefly that you've rented large residences that sometimes or maybe always come with the chef service.
Or
it's an extra?
No, when we started, it was kind of our little gourmet groups that were doing it, and we had fun going to the market and cooking ourselves. And we did a lot of touring around as well, but after a while, a few more restaurants, and then places offered to have a chef available, and they've been terrific. The one in Greece was just wonderful. An Argentinian, studied in London, and he studied Greek food, but and certainly the one last year. But it's marvelous because they know where to get the ingredients.
How much do you talk to them when you're
planning?
Yeah, do you plan a lot with them? Because you're going to be there for 4 weeks. Yeah. Wow. And you don't want to eat the same thing 4 weeks in a row.
Right. And sometimes we might eat something separately.
Well, if it's good enough, I'd eat it every day, frankly.
In Scotland last year, I think we just repeated the same menu. But I just asked for the chef to send some kind of usually a dinner menu to me, and you see what kind of things appear on the menu. Last year's the menu looked so sophisticated that I was worried, and I
You had to dumb it down.
And so I sent it off to our friend Betty Rossbottom, who gave it a rave review and talked all about the textures and this kind of stuff.
But no haggis.
No haggis. Well, we had haggis in the morning. Yeah.
If you wanted, it was kind of like,
So nobody ate it, but we had it in the morning.
So we've already covered the best way to navigate language barriers. There is no language barrier anymore with Google Translate and whatnot.
That
so.
really helped because, learning certain languages, we know we can speak French, we can make do in Spain and Italy, but in Tokyo and Japan, we're just completely, or Russia, some of them just aren't translatable. And even Portugal was really hard.
Yeah.
Portugal, you want to speak Spanish.
But it's not Spanish. Portuguese.
Yeah.
So my fantasy is to walk into a hole-in-the-wall restaurant in Tuscany or somewhere. They just come up to you and they just bring you the food.
Yeah, those are good.
Is it? Am I too caught up in that romance of it, or is it a real thing though?
No, it's a real thing where essentially it's a fixed price and fixed menu, and it generally is their best food. And there's a place in France that we went to a number of times, Perdue.
Yeah. Bistro de Paradou. In a little town in the south of France, about 20 minutes from Saint Paul de Mazol or from Saint Remy, not far,
kind of the middle of Provence.
Yeah.
And it's that's what you're serving. You're having chicken that night, or we had brain one night, but it's good, and it just keeps coming.
Yep. And it's always good.
Yeah, it's usually 6 or 7.
Some of them, the things are so memorable. Once we had roasted eggplant with honey, that still resonates.
Think about
with
it.
me.
You still think about
And,
it.
Hot honey.
And it includes the wine, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, pitchers.
It's a really nice, well, they're now bottles.
Are they?
It's a Côte de Rhône from a very well-known maker, but it's their label.
Yeah.
It's Paradou, Bistro de Paradou.
Yeah.
It's a Michelin restaurant. It's it's been in the top 100 in the world. It's just one of those special places.
But that's one of the places where they'll have a fixed menu. And go for it.
Right. Yeah. It's the best thing they're going to give you.
And it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50 euros now. With wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a deal. We sometimes go twice in a week.
Well, thank you. I'm sure we'll continue this conversation. I wish you guys weren't traveling so much right now because I would be peppering you with these kind of questions. Anyways, I thought I'm going to have to squeeze this in on the podcast. You forced me to because you're gone so much. So that's it for another episode of Chefs in the City. I want to thank my co-hosts, Richard Terapak and Steve Stover, for sharing their vast knowledge of food and travel. Can't wait to hear the stories when you get back. And until next time, remember, a meal is better shared. So share this episode with someone you know who will be traveling, and maybe everybody else too. You'll find Chefs in the City on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. And please like and follow us while you're at it. Thank you so much. Thanks from the whole team, and take care.
Boxland Media. Think big.